Welcome back. Today we are bringing home our second annual Women, Water, and Tech Month with a special guest. It's my pleasure to introduce Alexandra Wallach. She is the head of Business Development and Strategy USA at Kando, a data intelligence platform. She's also our co-president and ambassador for the US chapter of Women in Tech. And Alex has a bachelor's degree in Middle Eastern Studies and Persian language from UCLA, and a master's degree in government security and counterterrorism from the Interdisciplinary Center in Israel. Her career has touched sales and marketing, insurance and financial services, e-commerce, technology, and most recently, the water sector. She is passionate about fostering inclusive organizational cultures and women's empowerment. Alex, I'm so glad that you are joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Awesome. So could you start by just telling us a little more about your career journey and how you entered the water sector?
Yeah, it's kind of funny hearing you recap some of the sectors I've worked in and things that I've done. It's been all over the board, but really I think the common theme is in my career has always been, what's going to be the next challenge? How can I really take myself to the next level? And I don't mean in career, but really in knowledge and in digging in and finding out what it is that I love in this world while I'm here. And that has really led me to the water sector. I really think I may have found a home here in terms of long-term sector to work in. It's an incredible group of people. It's an incredible workforce that is doing really great work for all of us. And it's so underappreciated, the work that's really being done in the water sector. So it's nice to be here and bring a little bit of visibility to that.
Amazing. Yeah. And that's what kind of our campaign this month has been all about. We've been highlighting a lot of water issues in developing areas of the world, but we know, like you just said, there's global issues that affect people in all places. So what are some of those challenges that exist in the US and other developed countries that we might not know about, like you said?
Yeah, great question, Stephanie. There are a lot of issues that we face here in the US, even with advanced infrastructure that we do have, comparative to the developing world. Now, modern cities, we really face complex challenges like increased urbanization and industrialization to keep up with that population increase. I mean, in 2000, 26% of the population lived in cities, and now by 2030, about 38%, I believe, is the statistic of people that are going to be living in cities. Now, our treatment facility plants really have a hard time keeping up with that increased capacity. And most people don't think about what happens once you flush the toilet. It just disappears out of sight, out of mind. But really, there's an entire infrastructure under our feet that is working hard day and night to ensure that we have clean water. And when you have major pollution events, whether that's from the increased industry, and if it can't be processed well in the treatment plant because they're having a hard time with capacity or treatment of the wastewater, that ends right back directly into our environment, whether that's in the rivers and the oceans. So what we do really affects truly the impact on the larger environment in our communities. And this is something that we really are trying to tackle in Kando using data and analytics to do so. One of the other issues that we really face is going to be water reuse. And I'm sure you've seen the recent news articles coming out around the Colorado River, how California is going to have shortages, Nevada is going to have shortages, and we all have to pitch in to use less water, but we have to be productive in creating new solutions. And we can't just keep removing salt out of drinking water for the rest of forever. That'll affect the oceans, chemistry, etc. So we really need to be more innovative. And what we can turn to is wastewater. As unappetizing as that may sound on the surface, this is something that is an incredible resource. And at the end of the day, wastewater is an incredible resource, and it's underappreciated in what we can really utilize this for. You can see even an example of potable reuse is what we call it, in El Paso. They're doing incredible work getting a program ready to increase the water reservoirs and water for their population by utilizing wastewater. And that wastewater is going to be cleaned and purified to standards well above anything we're used to drinking. So really, it's just a mental shift of how can really we see wastewater moving forward as an incredible resource, not just something that we don't think about.
Yeah, that's so interesting that most people will probably, the out of sight, out of mind once it goes goes down the drain, it's gone. But yeah, to your point, that can be recycled and reused. So that's, yeah, super, super interesting. And I know Kando, you guys are all centered around, public and environmental health and addressing that wastewater quality. So how are your products and services doing that? Can you just tell us a little more about how you guys are doing it?
Sure. And I've touched a little bit upon it. I'm sure you can see we have an incredible vision and an incredible passion for what can really be utilized with the water that's running under our feet. And our vision is to really take and extract the data from wastewater and be able to bring that for public good to really impact public health and the environment. Now, the environment side, how we're impacting that is really helping utilities manage their wastewater collection networks and system. So we deploy our proprietary software and extract data from within the collection network, giving significant advanced warning for any pollution events coming down to that treatment plant so they can either better prepare or divert that track of wastewater and then process it separately. It's 24/7 monitoring. It's having eyes and ears in a system that has been dark since the Roman aqueducts. And you would think that something like that might already be being done, but it's not. Really, it's a reactive industry where whatever comes in, you treat it at that point, and there's no preemptive actions taken. And that's really where we come in. We developed a solution that can help streamline for utilities, their management, and protect the environment while doing so by increasing the quality of that wastewater.
Wow.
On the other side, our public health solution. So we are utilizing our same expertise of that collection network and being able to extract data around whether we started with COVID-19, right? That's where a lot of companies started doing testing in the wastewater, including universities and cities. And you can tell a lot from extracting data in the wastewater. We can pinpoint sources of outbreaks upstream to better identify where health departments can tackle these issues and address them more independently versus, a strong hand across an entire state, let's say. The other aspect is really where this is going. COVID-19 and testing in the wastewater really has opened up the mind of how much is really happening under our feet. The reflection of the community is in the wastewater. Everything that we do in health, whether it's our nutrition, depression levels, diabetes, all of these things can be seen and detected in the wastewater. Now, you can't pinpoint, John Smith down the street has diabetes or anything like that, right? It's a community level monitoring. But what you can do with that information is really target and affect health programs and understand if they're working. You can really utilize that data for public health promotion, not just protection, making a significant impact, especially in communities where health equity is an issue.
Wow, that's so eye-opening. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that I had no idea you could extract from, it's there in the water, but you could extract that information.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
A year ago, I knew none of this either.
Very enlightening. Well, you alluded to this, but you are, right at that intersection of women, water, technology. What do you see kind of looking forward in the industry and kind of the general outlook?
Well, and I have to say that I'm quite privileged. I'm with a water company and a tech company that is 55% female. Amazing. So we are a very strong female-driven organization, including in senior management. I think the number might be even a little bit higher, 50 to 60% in senior management. So I'm really privileged and fortunate to be in an environment that supports strong, active women in our organization, and we are just we're so much more powerful because of it, right? Because we have that balance of who's bringing what to the table. In the water industry in general, just like most industries, it is going to be male dominated, but there is a strong contingent of women in the water sector who are making significant impact. And I'm just so fortunate to be able to work with them on a daily basis, learn from them and their experiences. But as always, we can do better by encouraging more women to get active. And I think really as utilities go through their digital transformation, they start incorporating data and analytics into what they're doing. Hopefully that will attract more women in the space and be able to bring in fresh blood and fresh eyes to really see the industry challenges that we're facing in a new way.
Love that. Yeah, no, it's so great to hear, that companies are adopting, these practices, and, women are in leadership, and yeah, like you said, we can continue to do more. And thinking of other women in technology, how could they use their skills to make a positive social impact? What advice would you give to anyone looking to kind of enter that realm of work?
I really think what women can do is support one another, reach out, be a mentor, be that first one that takes that step in that direction, and bring more women into it, speak to more women about the opportunities that exist. There are so many. You can come into it from a marketing perspective. You can come into it from a designer perspective, an engineering perspective. I mean, there are a million ways that you can enter. There are self-taught ways. If you look at the emergence of blockchain technologies, I mean, this is still such an infant technology compared to what it will be in a decade or two from now. There are entry points into technology. But reach out to other women who are in the sector, reach out to me. I'm happy to be a guide or help in any way that I can, because it was a transition I had to make from the traditional sector into the tech sector. And it really comes down to determination and, of course, privilege and opportunity that you're given along the way. But to make an impact for me, I want to give back. I want to be able to help other women enter into spaces that are hard to get into and be that mentor if I can.
Love it. Yeah, I know you've done that for me and many other women. So thank you for that. And in this next section, just want to wrap up with some rapid fire statements. So I'll start off the statement and then you'll complete it with your answer. All right, first one, success to me means?
Oh, I've got 3 answers.
Okay.
Raising good humans to be better and make a better difference than we can. Truly being kind to myself, even the parts that I feel like I need to work on. If I can really be kind to myself, I consider that a success. And really just waking up feeling like my cup is full, and whatever that means to me in the day, in the week, in the year.
Beautiful. Next one, I stay motivated by? Keeping
myself challenged. I need that feeling like I just almost out of reach of what I can do. And then, of course, knowing that I'm doing incredible work that'll make an impact on my children's future.
Great answer. And last one, my work mantra is?
Oh, fake it till you make it. All the way. And it's really important because a lot of women, even if you just look at the basic statistic that we only apply for jobs that we feel 90% qualified for versus our male counterparts 50 to 70% qualified for. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to know everything. I came into this water sector knowing absolutely nothing beyond flushing my toilet. And you have to fake it till you make it for a little bit. But if you can believe enough in yourself and that you will put that work in to be successful, the rest will come. You just have to believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. The mindset is all of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And for anyone who wants to learn more about Kando, can you tell us where they can find Kando?
Of course. Kando.eco, ECO, is going to be our website. You can find a little bit more. You can request a demo through that site of what we're able to provide and do. And of course, you can always reach out to me. I'm here locally in the US and Canada. So just let me know if there's anything I can help with or support with as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alex. That was really, eye-opening, and just appreciate you sharing your story and journey with us.
Of course. Thank you, Stephanie. And thanks for bringing visibility to the issues in water. I mean, they're going to be some of the most significant we face in the next 100 years. And so it's really important work you're doing. Thank you so much.
Yes. Women in Tech US is happy to bring light to this subject. And this does wrap up our second annual Water Month. So this series has been, just very inspiring, all the women who are working in this sector. applying technology, and just really showing us that together we can make an impact, close the gender gap, and continue to empower more women and girls. So if you want to connect with Women in Tech and stay informed on other chapter activities in the United States, we encourage you to become a member. You can find that link below. And thank you so much for tuning in.